You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to... Hello. Welcome to Movie Phone.
Hello. What?
Welcome to
sorry,
Podcast Phone.
you said hello, and I wanted to say hello.
Well, where are we, Ken? What is this?
We're in the studio.
This is Triviality, the game where lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. Today's Fat Tuesday. We're all hyped up on Paunchki.
It's Fat Tuesday?
It is, February 21st.
When it airs?
When it airs.
Tuesday? Okay.
Yeah, not today.
I understand.
Today is Lazy Sunday.
Is that how this works?
I think that's how it works, yeah.
And we're sitting in Neil's office. I'm looking for my grilled bacon.
Well, grilled bacon would be really nice. And Matt, what are you doing for Fat Tuesday today?
Looking for a local Polish bakery to buy paunchkis, but I haven't found any yet.
All right. Well, hopefully you'll find something there. But we have a lot of treats today because we have some great guests, and we're super excited for a special episode of Triviality with just a little bit of a different format, which we're excited to hear about. But let's introduce our guests on this special day. It's also National Sticky Bun Day for anyone who celebrates. So enjoy those sticky buns.
For anybody who celebrates.
But first, let's introduce our guests.
There must be a lot of people because that explains why I don't see Sticky Bun Day celebration stuff on the shelves when I go to the store.
Yeah.
So.
Well, after we record here for about 4 or 5 hours, everyone has sticky buns. So let's introduce our first guest coming to us from Southampton, Massachusetts, an Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon, Lydia D'Agostino. How are you, Lydia?
I'm good, thanks. My name's Lydia. I'm an infectious disease pharmacist here in Western Massachusetts, and I'm very excited to be here.
Well, thank you, and we loved your question you submitted for the 300th episode. Thank you for having us think more about creams and different things. We talked about Tinectin quite a bit. But yeah, thank you for joining us today. And our special host today, you may have heard maybe on a previous episode, our friend Max Miners always mentions her, and we're super excited to have her here. Coming to us from LaGrange, Kentucky, Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon, Jan Winter. How are you, Jan?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Welcome to the show.
Great. Welcome. We talked right before we started recording that the sacred internet cowboy got you great internet for today's recording, so thank you to him. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a Kentucky girl. I have a couple of degrees in journalism, and I've been a writer. So I've had a really fun and interesting career. All roads kind of lead back to soccer for me. I worked for U.S. Soccer for a number of years. So I have a lot of really fun friends and I like to say the game's been very good to me for never really having kicked the ball. And I love trivia. So I was like, I'm so old that my family subscribed to encyclopedias when I was growing up.
Ooh.
And so I was the obnoxious kid who came to the table every night with lots of weird trivia from whatever volume I was working through.
Well, speaking of soccer, you've been around the sport for a long time. Who has better hair, Alexi Lawless or Weston McKennie?
Oh, Alexi Lawless doesn't have better anything.
You heard it here first, folks. But Jen, you're hosting today, and you did tell us before we started it's going to be a special formatted game of Triviality. And just so I'm correct, and you can correct me if I'm wrong for the listeners, every answer is going to be a number, and you're also going to give some ranges to help the competitors out, and there's also going to be some bonus points. Is that right?
That's right. So because I'm a word person, I thought it would be fun to kind of flip that and write questions where the answers are numbers. But yes, there'll be a range of acceptable answers, and the range will be your hint as to the size of the answer.
Oh, gotcha.
All right.
And every question will have a bonus worth 5 points.
Mm-hmm. Worth 5 points. I'm going to score keep today. The teams are going to be Jeff and Ken versus Matt and Lydia. And Lydia told us that she loves playing trivia with drug puns for names. And instead of picking one so that copyright would remain with her, Matt, you and Lydia are going to be drug puns today. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And me and Jeff decided on a drug pun, and we're going to be Suit and Tylenol.
Suit and Tylenol. A team name after my own heart. I love it. Jan, any preference on the rules read today, even though it's going to be slightly different, but for the folks at home who maybe haven't listened to a normal episode?
Let Lydia pick.
Oh, let's go Dutch.
De regels van het spel zijn simpel. 20 vragen verdeeld over 2 rondes, waarbij elke vraag 10 punten waard is. Halverwege is er een speciale swingronde, ontworpen door de host van deze week. Na deze rondes beginnen de spelers aan de finale, met de punten die ze hebben verdiend. En hebben ze de mogelijkheid om 0 tot 30 punten in te zetten op 5 gecategoriseerde vragen. Aan het eind van het spel wordt iemand benoemd tot the cream of the crop.
Are you Carly Simon? Because nobody does it better. You're the cream of the crop.
Thank you, Willem. Cool. Well, Jan, take it away. I'm going to keep score over here because numbers are not my friend, and I'm excited to hear the game.
Okay, so round 1 is called Universal Truths. I'm a girl of the 60s and 70s, so I grew up loving space travel. So question number 1 is called Icy Space Rocks. The Apollo space program was designed to land humans on the moon and bring them safely back to Earth. 6 missions achieved this goal. Over the course of the Apollo space program, 1963 to 72, how many pounds of lunar samples were collected? And you want to give the answer to the nearest 100. The bonus question is, how many samples are left unopened? And for this one, you have to give it within 1.
All right, Matt, what you got? You know a lot about lunar landings?
About lunar landings, no. I believe they're real. I saw the special in the 90s. I don't know. I mean, I think that they were going up there and collecting a ton of samples and that they weren't just golfing, right? They did other things.
I think, yeah. And so she said 6 successful landings. So,
What do you think? They get like 20 pounds each time?
Well, it's to the nearest 100, though.
So they get like 300 each time? What about like 1,300 pounds?
I love it. I love it.
And they have 4 unopened, we'll say.
That's a lot of rocks. Well, we're saying 100 pounds, and we're saying 5 unopened.
Okay, so the answer is 842 pounds. So the acceptable range is 742 to 942, and there are 6 unopened.
Oh, so we got the bonus points.
Woo! So just 5 points for you.
Just 5 points.
Okay, this one's called Long Enough for a Movie and a Coke. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins spent 4 days, 6 hours, and 45 minutes at speeds up to 24,000 miles an hour to travel 240,000 miles to the moon. Once they got there, how long did they spend walking around on the moon? Give to within 1 hour. The bonus is 12 people have walked on the moon. How many are still alive? Give to within 1.
All right, we are going to go ahead and lock in.
Okay.
All right.
So let's talk about some moonwalking. So Michael Jackson, number 1, right?
Oh,
I don't know where we're going with this.
Well, so long enough for a movie and a Coke, she said. So
is it Lawrence of Arabia?
Right.
Is it like a Disney movie that's 80 minutes?
Russian Ark.
Russian Ark.
One of the Lord of the Rings movies, also very long. I have no idea. I think you wouldn't make that trip up there if it was just like a couple hours. Like I wouldn't drive to Colorado and walk around like 20 minutes, be like, all right, let's go back. You're gonna make your time worthwhile up there. So what do you think, like 8-9 hours, somewhere around there?
Oh man, I was gonna say like 2.5.
Oh, okay. Well, that is enough time for a move. Maybe like 4.
Sure. Yeah. Split
Okay,
the difference.
we're gonna do 4 hours, and most of these moon men were probably in their you would say 30s and 40s when they went on the moon.
Yeah.
And that was in the 60s and 70s.
So it's not too late for me.
Better start training.
So it's like 60 years ago, right? So
Yeah, so they would be like in their 80s or 90s if they're. I'm gonna guess like 4.
yeah,
maybe
4 and 4. 4 hours,
Yeah.
4 people. I love it.
4 hours, 4 people. Great title.
All right, we thought this is the length of a moderately length drama, and we said 2 hours, 30 minutes, and then we said 8 are still alive.
Wow, you guys were spot on. They were on the moon for 2 hours and 32 minutes, and 4 of those people are still alive.
Wow. Well, we get bonus.
We got the bonus.
We'll take it. Points are points.
We'll take the
Somehow
regular
I knew
points.
people would need a bonus.
Bonuses are always good, especially if you're a Jonas brother.
All right, what's next?
Okay. Number 3. This one's called By Jove, We're Marooned on the Moon. Minor celebrity Chelsea Handler recently said she was 40 when she figured out that the sun and moon are 2 different objects. She said she thought when the sun went down, it came back up as the moon. Well, don't tell her, but there are 164 confirmed moons around the planets in our solar system. For Chelsea's sake, we only have one. Our moon is what size in rank? Out of the 164, where do we rank? Give to within 5. And the bonus is Jupiter has the most confirmed moons. How many does it have? Give to within 10.
I'm pointing to the first base umpire here to answer the question. That's Jeff.
Now, I don't know what to do with this. There's 164 moons.
Yeah.
Our moon seems like a big moon.
Yeah, right?
But I think that like in the grand scale of things, our planet's kind of medium size, and some of these larger planets you would assume have pretty large moons. Let's start naming the ones bigger, right? Titan, Europa. It might take a while.
Titan's got to be bigger, right?
It's got a big name.
Yeah. I don't, maybe like something in like the 20 to 30 range.
What do you think it's that? So you think it's in the top half. What about the number 42? Because that is a good trivia guess.
I'm down with that.
And then what do we need for the bonus? I forgot.
How many moons Jupiter has?
Oh, what about like 38?
I feel like I recently read that some planet had 63 moons, but I thought it was Saturn. So now I feel like I'm very off base.
You learned a thing about a moon and a planet, and we're going to utilize that.
All right.
And lock in with 63.
Jeff?
I'm pretty confident here that our moon is the 5th largest moon in the solar system, after, in no particular order, the 4 Galilean moons and then Titan. And then we said 72 was our guess for Jupiter, because I think it's about there.
That's amazing. It's the 5th largest. So that you got correct. One team got that right. And the other team got the bonus right, because it has 57 moons.
Nice job, guys.
So the range of acceptable answers is 47 to 67.
Well done.
Just in there.
Nice.
Now,
So my fact was not correct, though, but close enough.
Matt, I'm sure you'll be able to answer this. When I heard the question was about moons, what did I write down on my paper?
Moon.
Moonraker. Oh.
No, well, that's close. I wrote down Warren Moon, but that's okay.
Oh. Moon pie.
And I tried to tip you off with the word marooned.
Ooh.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
It did not.
Now I get it.
That was one of my better titles, I hope.
Oh, no.
Okay, here's the next one. Speak up. I'm covered in ants. Big numbers mystify me. So let's do some Earth comparisons for scale. There's 20 quadrillion ants on Earth, or 2.5 million per person. That's a 20 with 15 zeros. How many stars do we have in the Milky Way galaxy? Give to within 10 billion. That's a big range. And the bonus is ants have 2 eyes, 2 antennae, 1 mouth, no nose, and how many ears? You have to give the exact number.
All right, I
For
got
some
a
reason,
little
I just
lost in
think
the
about
ant numbers.
yeah, thinking of ants and stars. All I can think of now is Paul Rudd. So I have no idea what we're doing here. It's
Pick a
within
number in the
10
high billions and
yeah,
pick
we're
the number
looking
of
at
ears on an ant.
it's within 10 billion, right? So what are you thinking? Like 300? No, it's probably in the from 0 to 100 billion, right?
Okay, so 90 billion.
91 billion, 91 billion, and ants have maybe they have an odd number.
My
of
ants
ears.
have 2 ears, but
Each.
yeah,
Respectively.
each. Yeah.
None of them have Van Gogh'd yet.
Except for Ant Van Gogh.
And they keep
obviously.
telling you have to eat better, and you're getting too thin.
What about 4?
4
We've
ears?
done points with 4 before.
Sure. Let's keep
We're
it
going. We're going 4.
I
4
don't
ears.
have any better guesses.
all right, we said 100 billion stars and 0 ears.
Well, missed on the stars. There's 300 billion stars in the galaxy, and ants have no ears.
I don't know if this is the next question, but I thought it was going to go somewhere about trees because I believe there's 12 times as many trees as stars in the Milky Way. 12 times as many
Wow.
trees on Earth than there are stars in the Milky Way.
That doesn't seem
Good fact, Neil.
I'm almost positive.
Yeah,
There are
that's wrong.
36 trillion trees on Earth.
It's a lot
I
of
believe-
trees.
That doesn't seem correct.
I'll look that up in my
Is
encyclopedia.
that what the happening
That would
was
be
about?
nice, though. Here's what Google says. There are 12 times more trees on Earth than stars in the Milky Way. What website is this from?
That is DPRD.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Wait, go to Snopes.
Snopes.
Claim. Fact check. True.
Wow.
All Snopes says is it's likely that there are definitely more trees than stars, but not confirmed 12 times.
Global number of
Didn't-
trees is
didn't count
approximately
them.
3.04 trillion.
Good to know.
Wow.
See,
Wow.
sometimes I'm right. Sometimes.
See, and they're mad about us chopping down the rainforest. We got plenty.
Man, shut up.
Trees to spare.
Ants to spare for sure. Okay, ready? Question 5. The loneliest zoo. That's a lot of ants. There used to be a lot more, though. The Permian mass extinction, which happened 250 million years ago, was the largest and most devastating extinction event in Earth's history. Some scientists think the Earth was hit by a large asteroid from space, which filled the air with dust that blocked out the sun and caused acid rain. This event eradicated what percentage of all species, including the vertebrates that had begun to evolve? Give within 10%. Speaking of extinct, how big is or was the largest creature ever known to live on Earth? Give within 10 feet.
Okay. So for the percentage one, I feel like it's probably really high. But
I would say so.
I was wondering if we should go like something like in the 88-ish range.
88 seems high, but if you think about, some of the species have multiple subspecies and all those are wiped out as well. Yeah, I would, what would you say, 88?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like 88. It's a good number. As far as the largest animal that was wiped out, I did reference it a little bit. I think it might be the megalodon, right? Isn't that the biggest thing that's ever been on
The
Earth?
only thing that could take it on was Jason Statham, I believe.
The Meg? Is that what you're talking about?
What? I would never
They're
reference a
making-
movie.
The real thing he did, yeah.
Most of my knowledge from that is all from like Jurassic Park films, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think it was like twice the size of like a blue whale. And those are, I don't know. I don't have a starting reference point, which is the problem. like 800 feet. Is that like ridiculous?
It sounds ridiculous, but
It does sound ridiculous. What about 432 feet?
Sure.
That's a good number. 432 feet.
Okay.
We were supposed to be within how many feet? Sorry, 10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
376 feet. Shrink it down.
All
You're right.
right.
That was
Nailed it.
ridiculous.
Yeah, Jeff, I would never reference a movie. It would be really out of character for me
It
to
would.
make a stupid joke like that.
You're never going to get me, Shaq.
I realized we said 90% to get us between 80 and 100, but I don't think 100% of things went extinct or we wouldn't be here. But I think that's about right. And then we said 140 feet. We figured that's pretty big.
Okay, so the answers are it's 95%.
Wow.
Ken had
You
that
both got
right
that
on.
one right.
Wow.
And then I have that the largest creature ever known to live on Earth is indeed the blue whale. And it's 100 feet long.
Nice.
I figured there was something bigger than that. That's crazy.
After 5 questions, it looks like the score for drug puns is within a range of 20 to 40, but they actually have 20 points. And
so yes,
Suit and Tylenol is in the lead right now with 40 points.
Okay, question 6. Care for a mint? The first picture taken from space was taken on October 24th, 1946, with a camera installed on a rocket launched from White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. Some of the earliest images captured bits of the Earth's longest mountain range, the Andes. How long is that range? Give to within 500 miles. And the bonus is, how many countries does it run through? In the bonus, you have to give within 1.
Okay, our answer is in, and once again, that answer is going to be reported in miles.
So we were discussing the Andes and where they're located, and I was informed by Lydia that it's South America.
Correctly informed, yeah. It's good you learned a thing.
So based on that, big continent, what do you say, like 5,700?
Sure, that sounds good to me.
Okay, and which countries, do you know? Or it's how many,
How
right?
many?
So I do know 13 countries in South America, I believe.
It might go through.
Or 11.
You're close, either way.
Hey.
I don't remember what the number is.
You got it within
6?
a range of 5. I'll tell you that.
If it's in the northern part, there's a lot of little countries there. So I think 6 is a good guess.
6. Okay, we'll go with 6.
So 6 is good.
I kind of like your mile range guess better than ours, but we went 3,500, and we too said 6 countries, figuring Argentina and Chile take up a lot of it.
Okay, so the answer is 4,300 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So the range of acceptable answers would be 3,800 to 4,800.
So 4.3 pretenders.
We split the difference, yeah.
Yes. And it runs through 7 countries.
Ah.
Okay, question 7. Shorter and sweeter. Mondays seem like they go on forever. Days on Earth are in fact getting longer due to the moon's effect on our planet's rotation. But over the course of the Earth's life, a day hasn't always been 24 hours. 1 billion years ago, the moon was closer and the Earth's rotation was faster. How long was a day back then? Give to within 2 hours. And the bonus is, the amount of daylight we get changes daily on an average of how many minutes? Give the exact number of minutes.
I have no idea, but I was thinking maybe it was 11 hours. I don't 1 billion years ago, you said, right?
Right. Yeah. That billion's a long time. I can't remember 1 billion years ago. I can't remember 4 days ago usually. So that's something. Yeah, I think, maybe 11's good because you would think maybe it's about half the time it is today. So an 11-hour day sounds awesome. That means I would sleep 90% of the day usually if we had 11-hour days. And then on the bonus, so the idea is daylight savings kind of adds up to about an hour and a half, and we do that every 6 months. So if you break an hour and a half into 6 periods or whatever, that might not be how this works. But what about like 8 or 9 minutes?
You abandoned your hypothesis in the middle of the hypothesis.
I thought I had something.
I think I was going to say like the 3 to 5 minute range.
Yeah, that's probably closer to the math.
Lydia, in your
out.
scientific experience, does anyone abandon their hypothesis in the middle of an experiment?
I mean, probably not in my experience because I don't do experiments. But
What if Fleming was like, I wonder if this fungus will kill this bacteria? No,
it's just happy accidents. That's all it is.
That's my scientific method, actually.
we call it the Bob Ross scientific method around here.
Yeah, you got your hypothesis.
All right, so your answers?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Let's go with 4 again. We got 4 minutes and 12-hour day. Oh no, 11-hour days.
Okay, we said 20-hour days and 2 minutes.
Okay, you guys did really well on that. The answer is 18-hour days, and you had to be within 2. So one of you got that one, and then you both got the number of minutes that the sunlight changes daily. It's 3. I went ahead and let you be within 1 because it's kind of mean to say give the exact answer.
Yeah.
And as we know, Madonna and Justin Timberlake told us it only takes 4 minutes to save the world.
Right.
That's what it's from. Yeah, it's from this scientific.
Noted scientist.
Madonna. Well, when it comes to human reproduction.
I was going to make a joke about 4 minutes being a lot longer than you think it is, but
let's just move on.
I was talking about the duration of ads in a Triviality episode now, which you can skip and have ad-free on patreon.com/trivialitypodcast.
There you go. Wow, what a salesman.
Okay, question 8. This is called As Easy as Playing the Piano. For as long as humans have been alive, they've been gazing up at the night sky and trying to figure it all out. Many cultures have stories about the pictures people think they see when they look at the stars. Today, science defines constellations. How many constellations are there? Give the answer to within 10. And the bonus is, how many of those are named for animals? And give that one to within 10 as well.
I have a gut theory on this one.
Ooh.
So there's 88 piano keys, so I think we're looking at 88 constellations.
All right, I'm not special.
Oh, you're special, Ken. You just aren't the only one who picked up on that.
You just using music. So, 88, great answer.
We can go with that. So I would say it's more than 50% are going to be animals.
Yeah.
So do you want to say like 60?
Yeah, that people name things what they like, and people like animals. 63 is a good percent. We're gonna go 63%.
Number?
It's not percent; it's a total number.
We're gonna go 63. I'm doing
now
great
I think
here.
you might be onto something with the higher number, since they're like, that's a big bear, that's a small bear. But we just said 25 for that, and we stuck with the 88 piano keys for the total.
Yes, that was the clue. There's 88 constellations, and 42 of them are named for animals.
About half, yeah.
So the range is 32 to 52 for the points. Okay, number 9, no fighting, please. If you're among those stargazers, how many planets can you possibly see without a telescope? Give to within 1. And the bonus is, what year was the telescope invented? Give to within 100 years.
Yeah, so I've seen Mars.
Okay.
I've seen
Don't make the
Venus.
joke, Matt.
No, I haven't seen it. You can't see it with the naked eye. I think you could see Saturn sometimes.
Yeah.
I think it's probably like 4. What
I
do you
was
think?
thinking 4 or 5, so I like 4.
Let's go 4. And the year the telescope, so like it goes way past like Galileo, right? It's old. I think.
Yeah, I really don't know. I put like the 1600s, but I think it's older.
I was thinking 1600s. Let's go with 1597 for no reason.
All right.
It was a good year.
Yeah, good year.
All right, Jan said no fighting. So immediately I was like 5 for fighting, 5 planets, and then me and Jeff both wrote 1400.
Very good. The answer is 5. You can see 5 with your naked eye.
my question to you, Ken, was, does Earth count? Because I can see Earth with the naked eye. Because I agree with you. I think you can see 5 if you look up and 1 if you look down.
That could be true. And the telescope, I went with I guess like a lot of people sort of worked on the telescope, but the discovery is actually credited to a Dutch lens maker named Hans Lippershey in 1608.
Whoa.
Lydia,
Like our rule grade, right?
you must learn a lot by osmosis. You don't think you know it, but you know a lot of this stuff.
Maybe. And you said the planet was within 1?
Yes.
Okay, so we did get that one too.
Full points, 15 points for you for the first time in this game, making a comeback.
And for the 10th and final question from that physics class that you hated, this one's called Snow White Would Be Overwhelmed. Red dwarfs are the most common kind of star in the Milky Way, but they have such a low luminosity, not even one can be seen with the naked eye. A lot of naked eyes today. What percentage of our stars in the Milky Way are red dwarfs? Give to within 10%. That means what percentage of the stars we probably can't even see? Now, this is a pretty niche bonus. In the science fiction sitcom Red Dwarf, only Dave Lister, the chicken soup machine repairman, is the sole survivor of a radiation leak on his ship. He comes out of suspended animation how many years in the future? Give to within 1 million.
So she said Snow White would be overwhelmed. So I don't know if that's just a reference to dwarfs in general, or if we're looking in the some slightly greater than 7 range.
Something 7-ish. That maybe.
Well, I did say that they're the most common kind, even though you can't see them.
7 seems like not correct.
All right, so she's very overwhelmed then.
Yeah, she was super overwhelmed.
So
what about, it's the most common, and I think there's only like 6 different kinds, right?
Sure.
5 or 6? I don't know. We're bad at this.
Space, not my strength.
Yeah.
So maybe like.
Let's do 42.
42?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to Space Questions, number 42. And then the Red Dwarf TV show. Now, I'll have you know that I have seen none of these episodes, so I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, never heard of it.
And it's within 1 million, so maybe it's like.
Maybe this is where the 7 comes in.
Maybe this is 7 million.
Like 8 million, 9.
8 million sounds good.
Sure.
Split the difference. So we're going 8 million, and we are going with 42. The answer to everything in this round. We're hoping, fingers crossed.
I got a little worried when we were talking about this, and I was reminded that they're the most common type of star. That being said, I could think of a handful of different types of stars. So hopefully this answer is correct. We said 15% of them are red dwarfs, and we said 25 million. We don't know.
So, sorry, but the answer is that 75% of the stars in our galaxy you can't even see. And Dave came out of suspended animation in 3 million years.
Oh.
And watch some of those, watch more British TV. All British actors are better than all American actors.
A hot take.
Except they keep using the same 5 actors in everything that they make.
That's right. Benedict Cumberbatch and then like these 4 other people.
Yeah, he's so tired. He can't.
So that is the
work
end of
anymore.
the space round. Woohoo!
Well, after the first round, the space round, it looks like Drug Puns picking up 35 points in that second half, bringing their total to 55. And Team Suit and Tylenol picking up 40 points, bringing their total to 80. Now, Jeff, you mentioned Patreon, which we very much appreciate all of our patrons. We are very nearly at 500 patrons, which we're super excited about and honored to have all of your support. Jeff mentioned that you can get some of the ad-free main feed episodes over there. You can also get a bunch of bonus contents as far as Patreon bonuses, crop drops, and any other shenanigans that we're up to, and including posters, perks, boxes, all that good stuff. So if you'd like to join Lydia and Jan and so many others who help support our show and got us brand new microphone arms and new chairs and all that good stuff, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. And Jan, what is the theme of today's swing round?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a list of famous numbers. And then I'm going to give you a list of the reasons like why they're famous, and you have to match them up. So I think the easiest way to do it would be for you to make a list of numbers, and then I'll read out the reasons, and you can kind of match them up in your, on your list as we go along.
Okay.
Does that work?
Good.
So the number of question will be associated with the numbers. Got it.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to give you 10 numbers. You ready?
Ready.
666, 42, 5 and 7, 13, 3.141, 1 plus 100 zeros. You do not have to write out all the zeros. 12, 5, 5, 5, 86 and 99. Those go together. Just like 5 and 7. Those go together, and 86 and 89 go together. And the last one is 27. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, the first answer is pi, P-I. The second answer is Google, G-O-O-G-O-L. The third answer is the devil's number. The fourth answer is the answer to everything, according to Douglas Adams. The next one is the steak sauce creators' favorite numbers. The next one is the agent's numbers on Get Smart. The next one is the number of bridesmaid dresses bought by Jane Nichols. The next one is a baker's dozen. Then the number of people who have walked on the moon. Gimme. And the next one is a fake phone exchange created for movies.
All right. We have the swing round. We'll be right back with our answers.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end,
What will I become? Senwa Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Everybody in the studio and abroad are ready for the answers, so let's get to it.
Okay, I'll give the number, and then you can tell me what you think it is, okay?
All right.
666.
We had the devil's number.
We also had the devil's number.
That is correct. 42.
We had the answer to life, the world, and everything, or whatever that was from Hitchhiker's Guide.
Still haven't learned it.
All right, so for number 2, we also had the answer to everything.
That is correct. Next one, 5 and 7.
We said this was Steak Man.
We are also going with steaks.
That is right. I looked that up because people think Heinz 57 stands for something, but it's just his favorite numbers. The next one is 13.
Baker's dozen.
We agree, baker's dozen.
That is correct. 3.141.
We said pie.
We also said pie.
That is pi. 1 plus 100 zeros.
That is a Google.
Yep, Google. We agree.
That is a Google. How about 12?
We said this was the Moon Men.
We did learn this earlier. We said moon men.
Testing your short-term memory, that is indeed the number of people on the moon. How about 555?
We said this is the number used in movies.
Yep, fake phone exchange. We said that too.
That is correct. 86 and 99.
We said this was Steve Carell and Anne Hathaway in the modern remake.
I've never seen it, but we agree 86 and 99.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's a fun little movie.
That is right. And the last one is 27.
Thought this one was going to go to the 27 Club, but we figured out it was 27 Dresses. So that's got to be Katherine Heigl's character.
Yep, bridesmaids' dresses.
You both got all of those right.
Yay!
What a great swing round
sweep.
Yeah, swing round sweep. I don't know if that's the first time that's happened. It's maybe one of the few times it's happened, but both teams picking up 50 points each, bringing drug puns to 105, and narrowly ahead, Suit and Tylenol with 130.
I was going to say, Neil, it's definitely happened in a range of 0 to 302 times.
Yeah. So. Your definition of narrowly is very interesting.
Gotta keep people in the seats, Matt. Gotta keep people in the seats. So Jana,
Even if they're out walking their dogs.
What's the theme of the second round? Because we had space already. So what could we be going to next?
It's called people watching.
Ooh, my favorite. That's why you see me in a park and I'm just staring at people.
We told you can't do that, Neil.
That's how you got your camera broken.
That's just why I can only stay inside the studio and not 100 yards from the studio. So.
If the first round was science class, this one is social studies. Okay, ready?
Ready.
The first question of round 2 is called, that's a great number. The first woman ever to lead the American forces in battle was Harriet Tubman. During the Civil War, she led an effort in Beaufort, South Carolina that blew up a bridge and liberated 750 enslaved people from plantations along the river. That was in 1863. Women haven't made much progress since then in the military. How many female generals are currently serving in the Army? Active and reserve, give to within 2. The bonus question is, how many total generals in all of the military, men and women, are there? So we're looking for the number of female generals that are in the Army and then the number of total generals.
Waiting on my Harriet Tubman $20 bill.
Yeah. We are locked in, though, with some guesses.
She is awesome.
Badass.
I think that I have no idea. I don't know how many generals are in the Army.
Me neither.
I don't know if this is just the Army or all the branches. I don't know if they're called admirals.
All the branches don't have generals.
It's just the Army.
So I should know that, but I don't. And you said 8, and I think 8 is great. You were right.
Okay.
And then total. You figure that they say that there's not a lot, so you would probably guess that that's less than 5%.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at least 40 to 50, at least 80, maybe like 97.
Yeah, 97 sounds good. That's more than 5%, but that's okay.
Sometimes you just hold on. Sometimes you just say numbers and then you get there. You get to a number.
I like 97.
All right, we said 2 generals are women, and we said 50 generals total.
So the answers are, there are 15 current female generals. So the range of acceptable answers would be 13 to 17. And there's a total of 231.
That is a small percentage.
While women make up 28% of the Army, they make up less than 5% of the executives.
All right. No points on that one.
Okay. Spartans and then some. Humans love to push limits. Those 53,000 Guinness World Records don't set themselves. Some people push it a little too far, though. How many people have died trying to climb Mount Everest? Give within 50. And the bonus is, how many people have climbed it without dying? Give to within 1,000.
Now, I just read a thing about this. They called it the rainbow ring as you get close to the top because it's the coats of all the people that have died on their way up near the top. And I think that the clue, the Spartan thing, does lead us to 300, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and then some, right?
You want to guess like 325?
Sure.
Okay. And then how many, I think it's probably more likely now as like, equipment and things have improved, but I still don't think it's too many. How many do you think have made it to the top?
So that one was within 1,000. So I was going to say like 6 to 8,000 range, maybe more than that. I don't know.
Let's say, 7,000 is fine.
All right.
All right. We said 350 because it gets us over the 300 mark and then some, and it's within a range of 50. And then we said 16,000 for these successful climbs.
So you both got the main question right. It's 315. So the range would be 265 to 365 for those still playing at home. And the answer to the bonus is 4,042. So you were both a little high on that one. That was for you, Lydia. That was a drug pun.
I wonder if they're counting the Sherpas there's probably thousands of Sherpas who do it every day like it's nothing, and they probably don't get counted.
Right? Yeah, the woman who's climbed it the most, I just saw a story on her in a magazine. She's climbed it 10 times, and she's one of those people whose last name is Sherpa.
Oh, wow.
She is a Sherpa. She works at a Whole Foods in New York. Question 3. Haha, get it? Since I know you love questions about a certain band, what do you get if you add together the number of kinds of Campbell's soup and the score of a perfect bowling game? Give to within 50. And the bonus is, in 10-pin bowling, which pin is called the king pin? And you have to give the exact pin number.
Okay. So, thinking, perfect game of bowling, 300. We got that, right? We got the 50 leeway, so it has to be at least 350. And you think, we're thinking what, about 20 to 30 soups maybe?
Yeah, there's probably a little more than that, but just somewhere in that range I think is good.
Yeah. So we'll lock in with 375. And what do you know about the pin numbers? Anything?
I know that pins have numbers.
Uh-huh.
I don't know in what order they are, though.
Know that Vincent D'Onofrio is kingpin, so we got that. I don't know what number he is though. I would guess. I think it's the center pin, and I think that the way they count those, I think that's number 5.
Okay.
So let's go with 5 for the kingpin.
All right. We said 420. Haha, get it? And we said pin number 2, assuming that's the one just to the right of the.
I have no idea.
The head pin.
If it's 369 and we missed by 1, I'm going to be upset.
So the answer is actually 605.
What the heck?
There are 92 condensed, 77 chunky, 24 home style, 13 slow kettle, 4 gourmet bisque, 35 healthy recipes, 44 microwave, 6 Campbell's Go soups, 4 soups for easy cooking, and 6 reserve.
God damn it, Ken. If we just had homemade bisque.
I thought there were 4. I thought it was tomato, chicken noodle, cream of mushroom, cream of chicken.
Matt,
that's all. That was my original guess.
Ken wrote down on his paper 4 soups. And that was it. And Matt
I was thinking of the red cans. I've only seen 4 soups in the red can.
Oh my God. Somewhere there's a lot of soup.
Matt, you look so defeated. He dropped his head.
You thought
in
really
shame.
hard about this one.
I figure myself as a bit of a soup connoisseur, and I'm not there, I guess.
You better get to eating.
Campbell's Mulligatawny.
So the good news is, in 10-pin bowling, the pin that's called the king pin is indeed the number 5, Matt.
Hey, redemption.
Because it's protected by all the other pins.
Yeah.
It's right in the middle.
All right, let's move on.
I didn't know that, but hey.
Lucked into it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one you'll like, Lydia. This one's called, Who Knew Tiny Tim Could Knock 'Em Back Like That? Humans have been getting intoxicated since some Chinese folks forgot to stir the rice juice in 7000 BC. Now it's all taxed and regulated. Imagine that. A jolly old England has the world's lowest drinking age in the private premise. How old do you have to be to legally drink at home in England? Give within 1 year. The bonus is Eritrea has the highest legal drinking age among countries that allow alcohol consumption. What is that age? Give to within 5 years.
I think like, like having a glass of wine or whatever with dinner by even like 13, 14 is pretty common in a lot of European cultures. But I think that like legally, I'm guessing that they keep it young. I would say maybe even like 10, like as soon as you're double digits, let it rip, right? That's
Sure.
why not?
So do you want to go with 11? So we could be like one up, one down, or?
Sure. Yeah, let's go with 11. And what are your thoughts on the bonus?
I was gonna, because it's within 5. I was gonna say like 30. So then it would get us like 25 at something really old. But maybe it's closer to 21. I don't know.
Well, let's do. It's gonna be, if we get the 5-year bonus or buffer, it's definitely older than 21 because it's 21 here.
Right.
So we would guess at least 27 because that gets us 22 to 32. Okay. You want to do 27?
Sure.
Okay, we'll lock in with 27.
I've never been drinking, and so I don't know why, but in the back of my head, I was like, oh, it's 18 here.
Wrong.
Used to be.
All right, so for the drinking age in a private premise to get the range of 1, we said 13 years old, which kind of makes me wonder if we fetishized drinking here in the U.S. with our high age. That said, 21 is high on a global average, I believe. So we said 27 in order to get a range of 22 to what? 32?
32.
Yeah.
Okay, so in England, the legal drinking age in the private premise is 5.
Oh, no.
5.
Okay.
Dang.
Makes sense, yeah.
Range of acceptable answers 4 to 6. And in Eritrea, you have to be 25.
All right.
Nice.
Well, we get bonus. I just can't imagine a kid with a cider watching his Paw Patrol. That's just, that just doesn't.
You have to remember, right? Like England, it's probably been on the books for like 1,000 years,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So you have 5-year-olds out tilling the fields all day who just need to get
figure if they
blasted
only
because the
lived to-
water was garbage.
Yeah.
The chimney sweep really
they didn't want
needed
to drink
a
plague
sprinkler at
water,
home.
so yeah.
Oh, 5-year-olds in the field all day. Okay.
Oi, Dalmatian, my favourite, mate. What are you doing, Dad? Bring me my pint, please. Come on, Dad. Get off your high horse.
Sorry to all the people in England. We apologize.
Question 5 is called Pray You Never Have to Go There. Humans have been ripping each other off since time began, too. Perhaps not too ironically, Vatican City has the world's highest crime rate. On average, how many crimes are committed per person annually? Give within 1. And the bonus question is, how many people live in the Vatican? Give within 100.
So I'm pretty sure that the population is like under 1,000.
That's what I thought too.
And so if you figured if there were only 100 crimes committed in a year, which is like 1 every 3 days, I think that seems crazy. That would be 1 for 10. So it's got to be, you got to figure it's probably like 1 crime per person, or at least like per 2 people, right? Something like that.
Yeah, but she asked for per person, so I think it's at least 1 per person.
Right. So I think it's like maybe 2.
Sure.
3. I don't know. What we get within 1, so it's going to be more. Maybe let's do 3, so we get the 2 to 4 range.
All right, so 3 per person.
And then population, I think it's somewhere around like 800 to 900.
Okay, I thought it was maybe a little lower than that, but
Okay.
so do you want to just go with 800 on the lower range of what you were saying?
Yeah, and then that gets somewhere in the 700s too with the buffer. So we'll say 800.
Okay.
All right, so I convinced Jeff that probably most of the crimes are committed by visitors and pickpockets that are coming into the Vatican to pickpocket tourists. So I think it's actually probably like 5 per person who actually lives there. And probably the residents aren't committing most of the crimes.
And then for the population, I thought it was a little less than 1,000, but I thought about 1,000. So we said 1,000.
Okay, so the number of crimes committed per person annually is 1.5. So 1 or 2. Although 1.5, 2.5, I think I'd give that. That could be rounded up to 2. So I think 3 would be an acceptable answer.
Yeah, let's round up. Good idea.
What the heck, man?
Love rounding.
And the number of people that live in the Vatican, 800. Right?
Wow.
On the dot.
Wow.
Dang.
Is this the swing round or?
It is kind of like the swing round, Ken, because after 5 questions in the second round, your team, Suit and Tylenol, only picking up 15 points, bringing your total to 145. But Drug Puns picking up 35 points, bringing their total to 140. Now narrowly almost in the lead, Matt.
Okay. Question 6. Da blimp, Da Vinci. Human achievement is wide-ranging. Are there currently more blimps in the world or Da Vinci paintings? Give both numbers, each to within 5. The bonus is, okay, not a number. I'll make it not a number. True or false, Da Vinci invented the blimp.
Let's go with like 18 for blimps.
I like it. And are we saying there's more blimps than Da Vinci paintings?
I think so.
I think so too. So I can only name like 3 Da Vinci paintings, but
So you want to go with like 5 on those?
well, if we're within 5, we could go like a little up, right?
So let's go 11.
There's at least 1, right? So
Yeah. You're right. Let's go like 8.
8, okay. So 8 and 18.
And then I don't think he invented the blimp. I think all he had was his flying machine thing that didn't work.
Well, that was what I thought as well. So
yeah, false.
We guessed that there were like 5 blimps and 10 paintings. We said false for whether he invented them or not.
Yeah, you can't forget Mr. Zeppelin.
There's literally like 2 Goodyear blimps in the whole world or something.
I used to see blimps all the time when I lived over by Midway Airport. But it was probably the same blimp over and over. So what's the answers?
The answers are there are 25 blimps in the world and only 15 remaining Da Vinci paintings. And no, the blimp was invented by Henri Giffard of France in 1852. So the answer is
Henri Giffard blimp. Blimpe.
Number 7, pause for a shot. We're a proud people in Kentucky. We like to say we're all about fast horses and beautiful women. Or is it the other way around? Either way, there's not as many of us as there are barrels of bourbon. How many barrels of bourbon are aging in the bluegrass? A number that represents twice as many people who live here. Give to within 2 million. And the bonus question is, what percentage of the world's bourbon is produced in Kentucky? Give to within 10%.
So, yeah, I think it's kind of in the lower to middle range. Like, Louisville's a pretty big city, but there's not really a lot of population outside of that, I don't think. So,
yeah,
maybe 6 million for the bourbon barrels, like 3 million for the people who live there.
Yeah, I think maybe a little higher, maybe like 7. Let's do like 7 million.
Okay.
And it said, what percentage of bourbon does Kentucky produce? Okay. So bourbon, by definition, has to be produced in, I believe, Kentucky or Tennessee. I think that's how it works. It's all, not all whiskey is bourbon, but all bourbon is whatever that is. So I think it has to be at least probably somewhere around 50%. Or do you agree with that line of thinking?
So I thought it all had to be in Kentucky.
Okay.
Because Tennessee is whiskey, right?
right? Tennessee whiskey companies, Jack Daniels. Yeah, I think 100% is probably accurate. I think
So
that's
what was the range? Was it 10? So should we
within 10%.
Should we say 90 just in case I'm an idiot?
Let's be safe. Let's say 90.
Okay.
I think you're right. I think it is 100%, but let's say 90.
All right, we guessed 9 million were the amount of barrels, and we threw caution to the wind, and we said 100%. We didn't want to even take the range.
It could be 110%.
So the answer to the main question is 10.5 million. So one of you got the points for that. And the percentage of the world's bourbon that is produced in Kentucky is 95%.
Close call there, Jeff.
Points.
Oh yeah, we did get it. Okay,
we
cool.
got it, but it was stupid and foolhardy.
And you're right, all bourbon is whiskey, not all whiskey is bourbon. And Lydia, do you remember what makes bourbon? You know how we get that definition of what is bourbon?
Something about beer, I think, but I don't remember what.
It has to have a sprinkle of bluegrass.
I literally thought I had to come from like Bourbon County. I don't even know.
It's probably from the barrel, right? Maybe.
Bourbon County is dry. Okay, no alcohol sales at all in Bourbon County. Christian County is wet, which is the joke. But the definition of bourbon is that it has to be made out of 51%, at least 51% corn mash.
Okay.
So that's the difference. Other alcohols made out of other kinds of grain. Okay.
Well, there we go.
Question 8. Like a couple of Steve Austins, humans value the silliest things, like someone's hair or a sports ball. A Mickey Mantle baseball card is the most expensive piece of sports memorabilia ever sold. What was its price? Give to within 2 million. And the bonus is, when it was sold, it surpassed the jersey worn by Diego Maradona, who wore it when he made the Hand of God play in a 1986 match between Argentina and England. What was the final score of that game? Give the exact score. Sports question.
Well, I know, and it's one that I know. So this sale just passed, I believe, the Honus Wagner, which
the
was
rookie card. Yeah.
It was the highest. And she said 2 Steve Austins, who is the $6 million man. This is roughly 12 million, so we'll say 12 million. Any problems with that so far?
No, I have no idea.
The Hand of God goal was when he illegally touched the ball and passed to himself in the World Cup, and they didn't call it. And I believe the score was 2-1. Argentina ended up winning. So,
all right, we said double 316 for Steve Austin, so we said
6.32 million.
6.32 million, and we said 1-0.
Okay, so the druggies over there, they got it right on top.
No surprises on this one.
The answer is $12.6 million for the Mickey Mantle baseball card, and Argentina won 2-1.
Yeah.
And it was either 2-1 or 1-0, but
yeah, that would have been really bad if it was like 4-0. If it wasn't for that play, we would have had
like 90% of all football scores are those two options.
100%.
Question 9. Ride, Sally, ride. We are sports obsessed in this country. Our own little horse race, the Kentucky Derby, is the longest continuously held sporting event in the country. What year did the Derby begin? Give within 5 years. The bonus question is, one of the longest shots ever won the Derby last year, Rich Strike. What were his winning odds? And it's going to be something to 1. And you need to give that within 10.
All right, you guys just tied with us, so we have to pull our heads out of our asses and get to work here. So we're locked in with an educated guess.
It's more than 100 for the Derby, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is more than 100. I believe it started somewhere around 1880 because I know we're coming up on the 150th year because every year they say like the 130 something running of the Kentucky Derby. I don't know exactly what one we're at, but I think it's around 1880.
Okay. So then we're at like 143, 142.
Somewhere around there. I think that's right.
You have to give the year of the first one. So the year.
Oh, just kidding then. Reverse math. All right.
Yeah.
So like 1881, 2.
Yeah, 1881 is fine. It's within what? How many years do we have? Within 10?
Okay, 10.
When in doubt, go
so
the palindrome. So
yeah, so 1881 sounds good. And then the long shot bets tend to be between, your favorites are going to be like 3-2, and then like 5-1, 10-1, and then the long shots tend to run between 75-1 and like 90 or 80-1. And I just have this feeling it's somewhere like 80-1.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I remember it being really high, but I didn't remember it being that high, but you seem like you have more of an educated guess than I do.
There's been 20-1 winners and 40-1 winners like pretty frequently, but I think the longest of the long shots tend to be in that 80 range. So I think 80-1's a good guess.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Well, we said they're probably not racing horses during the Civil War. So we said it's got to be after that and probably shortly after that. So we said 1875. And I don't bet on the horses, so we said 32-1 because I don't know anything about that.
You guys did really well on this one. It's 1875.
Wow.
So from 65 to
range of 1, right? That's what you said? Range of 1?
Range of 0?
And Rich Strike did indeed go off at 80-1.
Wow.
All right.
That's pretty amazing. I was testing your knowledge.
Gambling, I know.
Parimutuel wagering.
So it'll be 2 years, and then they'll hit their sesquicentennial, I believe, is 150.
That'll be a big one.
2025. Yep. Okay, so here's the last question of the regular game. It's called Have a Hot Dog in a Hot Tub. America's sport is baseball. And when you think baseball, you probably think hot dogs. But one company, Costco, sells 4 times as many hot dogs as all Major League Baseball stadiums combined. How many hot dogs does Costco sell every year? Give within 25 million. The bonus question is, what's the record for the number of hot dogs consumed at the Nathan's 10-minute hot dog eating contest? Give within 10.
Maybe like 100 million?
Yeah, let's say it. Americans love hot dogs. 100 million sounds good.
Okay.
For the second one, I remember when Kobayashi held the record, and I believe that was in the 80s, and Joey Chestnut beat him. And I think it's like over 100 now. I think it's like 111 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I think it's like a crazy amount. I think he's ripping them in half and sliding them down his gullet like a duck and just swallowing them whole. So I think...
Little hot dog foie gras.
Yeah. So 111, maybe let's do 105 just to get a little lower number, but I think it's around there.
Yeah. All right. That's gross, but I agree.
All right. It's probably a smaller percentage of Americans eating a lot of Costco hot dogs, but we said 500 mil, and we said, what, 75 for the record?
Okay, so the answer is 100 million. Got that one on the dot. And the record is 63.
Oh, I was way out.
Not quite as gross as we thought.
Thank God.
But still gross.
That is the end of regulation, Jan, and it looks like Team Suit and Tylenol has fallen behind to 175 points, and taking the lead going into the final is Drug Puns with 190.
Okay, so since I tortured you with numbers the whole game, the final round is called A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y and W.
Okay, so it's a 7-question final round with the categories of A, E, I, O, U, Y, and W. We are betting, we're keeping the rules the same, so you can bet 30 points on all the questions, not to exceed your point total. And both teams have decided to bet 10 all the way down, so let's have the questions.
Okay. The A question is about athletes. Give the average number of miles run by a basketball player during an NBA game. Within 1. E. Everest. Give the number of tons of human poop left on Mount Everest annually. Tons of poop. Give within 10. I is islands. Give the number of permanently inhabited islands throughout the world. Give to within 2,000. Octopus for O. How many species of octopus are known? Give to within 50. Umbrellas. Give the total number of umbrellas sold in the U.S. annually. Within 10 million. Y is YouTube. Give the total number of YouTube videos. Within 100 million. And W is Waffle House. Georgia has the highest number of Waffle House locations. How many? Within 100.
All right, we will do our best estimating, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back with our answers. Let's see what happens. But first, a quick correction. 76 is the hot dog record for Nathan, so we are taking an extra 5 points right off the top before we start. Hope it makes a difference. We'll see with our answers.
A is for athletes. Name the average number of miles run by an NBA player during a game.
All right, we said 3.
Ooh, we think that they're a little bit lazier. We said 2.
And the answer is 2.5.
So it's within 1, right? So we both get points.
Okay, E for Everest. The number of tons of human poop left on Everest annually.
We said 2 tons. Can't be that much because we now know the number of people who climb it. So
we think that they get scared poopless at the top. So we think there's a lot.
They
We said
evacuate their
33.
bowel. How much did you say?
33.
33 tons. That's a lot of shit.
And I kind of wanted to say left on Mount Everest, a different word, but I didn't say it. The answer is 13.
Wow.
Sorry, 13.
Oh, your joke about 16 tons was pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay, islands. The number of permanently inhabited islands throughout the world.
We said 10,000.
We went a little less. We said 4,100.
And the answer is 11,000.
Ooh.
That's a pretty good cold guess.
What was the range?
2,000.
Lovely.
Nice.
So you get that one. How many species of octopus are known?
We said 500.
We think that there's not that many. We said 207.
And the answer was to be given within 50, and the answer is 300.
Oh,
Just a little outside.
we'll get there. I have a good feeling about the next ones.
Umbrellas. Total number of umbrellas sold in the U.S. every year.
We said 60 million. A lot of people losing theirs.
That is amazing because we also said 60 million.
Oh my God. And the answer is 33 million.
Oof.
We must be twice as unlucky with our umbrellas as the common person.
I have bought 0 umbrellas in my life.
Same here, yeah.
Somebody's
I've
buying
purchased
our umbrellas. Y is for YouTube. Total number of YouTube videos.
Yeah, screw it. We're going to say 1 billion.
1 billion.
1 billion
I don't.
videos.
This is crazy because we also said 1 billion.
Ah, so close. Within 100 million, the answer is 800 million.
All right. Either way, we weren't getting it, so that's fine.
Wow.
I think by the time this episode airs, it'll be $1 billion. So points for us.
Let's talk W and Waffle House. Georgia has the highest number of Waffle House locations. How many?
Jeff wrote 1,000, which I think is insane.
Why not?
But let's go for it.
We did not guess the same this time. We said a little less. We said 329.
Oh, this one hurts. It's 433.
Ooh.
So close. 433 Waffle Houses.
That's a lot of Waffle
That's a
Houses.
lot of Waffle Houses.
There's a lot of people in Georgia.
All the scores have been tabulated, and
you'll be happy to know that the hot dogs did not factor in.
The hot dogs did not factor in, but drug puns looks like they were going to be subtracting 50 points from their final round, bringing their total to 140, but squeaking out the win with a little bit of acetaminophen, suit and Tylenol, losing 30 points, but bringing their total to 150 to be today's cream of the crop.
Crop rules everything around me.
Yay.
Wow. That could have gone anyway. Any which way.
Yeah.
Thank
But
you
the
guys
numbers
for
were in our
playing my
favor.
very strange game.
No, we appreciate it, Jen, and thank you for the very smooth segue. Give your last shout-outs. We really appreciate you hosting our game today.
I don't really have anything to push. I just love your show. And I played with Max twice, and I really wanted to kind of repay the favor. So thank you very much for letting me do this. It was really fun, and I encourage other people to get involved because you guys are so nice.
Yes,
Well,
of course.
thank you.
Thank you so much, and shout out to Max too. Lydia, thank you so much for joining us. You're a fierce competitor, and any last shout outs for you?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I was foiled by pounds of poop my last appearance on the show as well, so that's just going to be a trend for me.
Is that for real?
Poop again. Yeah.
What are the odds?
Right?
Oh no, it's poop again.
So yeah, I would just like to give a shout out to my sisters who I play trivia with, Elena and Melanie, my pharmacy buddy trivia team, which goes by side effects usually, and my boyfriend Kevin, who is like wrangling our dog right now so she doesn't interrupt.
Thanks,
All right.
Kevin.
Yeah, thank you so much once again. You're kind of like Biff in Back to the Future, hating manure. But that'll bring a close to our game. And as always, we'd like to thank Airwave Media for being there for us. Check out their great podcasts other than us, Redacted History, The Scientific Melody, and Settle the Stars. Sounds great. That's a constellation podcast.
Yeah, and you can find all those at airwavemedia.com.
We once again want to thank you two, Lydia and Jan. Of course, Matt, Jeff, Neil. I'm Ken, and that was Triviality.